how to figure out what the sales growth should be for this coming year. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So a lot of organizations will say, what should our targets be? We're going to make our annual operating plan in August, so that way in January we know where we need to go and how we're going to succeed. Well, that's a great idea. You should have a plan for growing your sales. But we need to start looking at the market. What's going on in the market? What's going on as far as our industry, and make sure that we understand what's going on. Just slapping on a 10% annual increase isn't going to benefit us. We need to understand the demographics or whatever the metrics are in our organization and our industry so we can actually make a good plan. So in commercial vehicles, for instance, they actually have a forecast that's put out by two different organizations, and you can kind of triangulate that. But keep in mind, most of the businesses that are trying to take over market share, even though an industry might be going down, they're trying to build more vehicles. Yeah, that's right. You see it in light vehicle all the time where all these trucks are made and they have like 90 days worth of inventory out in the field. And when they start getting over 110, they start throwing rebates out there for vehicles. Automotive's done that time and time again. We need to understand what the buying habits are. We need to also understand that, political things actually, those political years, they actually hinder some sales because there's uncertainty there. And every 4 years in the US, we know that there's going to be some kind of an election going on for the presidency. And with that uncertainty, people kind of hold back just a little bit on their spending. So we need to understand all of these aspects, and you can't just sit there and get an analysis paralysis, but we need to understand what's going on in that market when we go to set our goals. The second thing we need to do is understand how much market saturation we have. If we have 99% of the market, there's no way we're going to grow another 10% of the market, right? We have to go and actually study how we're doing to the market for whatever we sell. And if there's areas of growth, but we're kind of strapped where we can't hit that capacity, then we can't just slap on that, we're going to get 10% more. We need to study our capabilities and where we are in that market to be able to guide us if we want to grow more. And that brings me to that third point is maybe we can't grow in this segment, but we target growth in this other segment that's growing and that we need to do more with. So we can say we need 10%, but maybe 95% of that is this one instead of product B. So we need to understand what that looks like as far as growth as well. We can increase, the blue colored product and not worry about the black colored product or whatever it is. We need to make sure that we're focusing on how we attack the market and how we set our growth plan. We also can get sales growth increase by, revenue by increasing the sales price. Typically, if we're saturated in a market and we can't put out any more, sales price goes up a little bit. So we can make a little bit more revenue that way. There's all these different kind of levers we can do to grow our sales and our revenues, but we need to make sure that we're focusing on profit. How can we increase our profit? Because if we try to go after a 10% market share growth and we're expediting materials in, we're not going to be profitable. Profit is the number one driver for success in a business. Businesses that are consistently underperforming and have negative profits, they're not there long term. So we need to make sure we're studying all this and making an accurate plan, not just slapping a certain percentage increase for our sales the next year. Now, if you have any more questions about that or training your sales force, reach out to me. That's why I've created some different programs and whatnot, and I do my keynote trainings. Feel free to reach out. Contact information's below. If this video was helpful, hit like, share, subscribe, send to somebody you think it might benefit. That's why I do these videos, to help you. We'll see you next time.